Well, it's Thursday, and I think it's time to cue that theme song. Welcome to my channel, Finding America. It is really great to see you here. Now this week I got to hunt a great location at one of the most haunted locations in the country. But before I get to that, I have a real quick word to say about what Chris and I got to do this past Saturday. We traveled down to Chattanooga for the American Digger magazine Chattanooga Relic Show. Let me tell you, that place was wall-to-wall, stunning, amazing relics. But my favorite part was actually walking around and just getting to meet so many new people. And I was so surprised by how many of you guys were there. And let me tell you, your enthusiasm for the channel, it was just, frankly, it was really humbling. And I really appreciate you telling me how much you love the channel. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for all the kind words you told me at that show. And I have to say, it was my honor and a huge pleasure to finally get to meet some of you. Now, I also want to give a huge thank you to a longtime subscriber that I finally got to meet at that show as well. He's a fellow YouTuber as well, and his channel was called Cane Beeping. Now, it was great to finally meet him in person, but he really surprised Chris and me when he gave us a very cool gift. He gave each of us a solid silver pull tab. I have to say, that's a very cool gift to give to someone that's into metal detecting like Chris and I are. So thank you so much for that gift, and it was really awesome to finally meet you in person as well. Now I hope you'll go check out his channel. It's called Cane Beeping, and I always check out his videos, and I think you'll enjoy it as well. So I will give a link down below at the top of the comments, and hope everyone goes and checks out Cane Beeping. Now onto the hunt. I finally got permission and finally was able to hunt a place I've wanted to hunt for a very long time. It's an old American Legion building that was built on the site of an early settler's homestead. So obviously there's a lot of great history there, but there's something else you need to know about this building. It's haunted, and I mean really haunted. It's actually been ranked as one of the most haunted locations in the entire United States, and it's actually been featured on many ghost hunting TV shows. Now, the current building was built in 1930 for the American Legion. Now, this building was the center of activity. Now, it hosted everything from bingo nights to dances to concerts to performances and shows, all for the townsfolk. Now, even Minnie Pearl and other famous performers made appearances at this hall. But all that changed on July 9th, 1964. When a United Airlines flight bound for Knoxville crashed into the mountains nearby, killing all 39 on board. Now afterwards, it was determined that the only building large enough to accommodate all the remains was this hall. Now once all the dust settled, all those appearances and happy events, they just didn't seem to be the same anymore, and the events actually began to slow down until they became pretty much infrequent and just memories. And since that time, there have been many accounts of hauntings and mysterious happenings at that building. Now I thought that since this was a brand new permission, and this is the first time I got to walk on it with a metal detector, I thought I'd show you all my good finds. And I found a lot of finds, and I found some interesting finds. So enough with the talk, here we go. Hope you enjoy the video. Well, first signal of the day this morning was the 1223. Went ahead and chased it. Usually it's going to be a square tab, but this time some type of heart pendant. Looks like it meant the mower. That's a pretty cool little item, so I thought I'd share it with you. 1242 this time, so I was looking for a weedy. Dug down about 6 inches and it came out with the dirt on my drop cloth. And it does appear I have a weedy. I haven't really looked at it yet. Oh, there you go, 1940D. We'll take that. I got a signal that was reading 2036. Now it's going to be like iron, but it was sort of giving me a mid-tone. And iron doesn't do that all the time. So what I did was I dug down in this hole and I cleared out this iron strap. Once I did that, I checked the hole again and bam, got a 1242 right here that was completely hidden by that iron strap. And hopefully you can see it in the hole here. It appears I got another wheat penny. And that thing was not even registering. Yeah, look how nice that came out. So there you go, I got a 44 Wheatie completely hidden by that iron. Once I got rid of that iron, signal just came blaring through. And it was only about 4 inches down. Well, once again I cleared out a square pull tab right here, and it was masking another signal. I was getting a 1239, which normally is wheat penny, and that's exactly what it turned out to be. Looks like this time it's a 46 Wheatie coming out of the ground, beautiful. And it was pretty down there, about 7 inches. Well, just about a foot away from that last Wheatie, got a 1217, 1218. I was kind of surprised when I got a nice little nickel out of the hole. That's pretty high for a nickel. There must be something else in the hole throwing the number off, but yeah, this one is, I checked it just before I turned the camera on. It's a 1940, nice early Jefferson. And it looks like it's got a mint mark. It looks like a Denver. So, nice little find there too. Well, this was a pretty interesting hole. I was getting all kinds of mixed signals on it, but there was enough of a high tone in there that I decided to go for it. Glad I did. The reason for the mixed signal, that big old rusty nail in the hole. But check out what I got also out of the hole. I had 2 Wheaties stacked on top of each other. I don't even know what years they are yet, but let's see what this one is. Yeah, got a little bit of crust on them from sitting on top of each other. Looks like 1952. And the other one, you can see the green where the other one was sitting on top of it. Yeah, that one's going to be a 1950. That's pretty cool. Neat little hole. Oh, this is pretty neat. I got a 1242, but it was kind of a larger signal. So I didn't know really what to expect. I got down there and I pulled out this huge rock and put my digger in and felt another one. And I started to pull out this rock, except it's not a rock. It's like an iron doorknob. That is too cool, man. Pretty cool piece. I was fully expecting a rock and that popped out and I was like, oh man, that's cool. Well, next signal was a 1215. That was about 6 inches, so I said, well, I'm going to chase it. And, well, it turned out to be a nickel. And I think I got another early Jefferson. It's definitely 40s from what I can see. I believe it's 41. I got a pretty cool item out of this hole. It's giving me like a 1222, 1223. And very deep down. I'd say about 9 inches. I got an old style fuse, and it's no big deal normally, but this one actually has a patent date on the top, and from what I can see, it says patented August 29th, 1911. That's pretty cool, and it has a little bit more on there. I'm going to have to get it home and clean it up. I've done as much as I can out here, but boy, that's early. I didn't really know they went back that far, so that's pretty cool. Well, I got a nice target here. It's ringing in about 1234, 1235. And I dug the plug and stuck the pinpoint in the hole and got the target. I haven't really looked. Oh, that is so cool. Check that out. There's a little telephone, old rotary dial. Maybe part of a keychain or something, or I have no idea. Pretty cool though. I don't know if it's got anything on the other side. Pretty good metal too, copper or brass or something, but it may have something on the backside. We'll clean it up and see if there's anything on it, but that's a cool little target. I like that. Well, it's just been a couple minutes since I got that little telephone piece. Got the telephone piece right here, and then I got another signal here, and it was a bit of chain link fence. I came down here, got a 1230, and it was about 4 inches, so you know me, I like to dig everything, and I'm really glad I did this time. I haven't even pulled it out. This is exactly how I saw it. Look at that. It's a little jewelry pin or brooch of some kind. Looks like 3 fake stones in it, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. Oh yeah, check that out. Wow. That is awesome. That is why I like to dig it all. It should clean up pretty well too. It's got, might have fake stones all the way around. I can't tell if that's just beadwork on the metal, but it does have 3 fake stones in the center. There's probably a lady waiting for a performance here at the old memorial building, because this is built in 1930 as American Legion Hall. And then they had a big auditorium, and they had a lot of performances here. Minnie Pearl was here. You name the country star, they were here. And they had sports events and all kinds of things, bingo. So there were a lot of people milling about. Well, not too much further on. I got a really nice solid 1242. Dug down, it's only a few inches down, but I went ahead and checked it. But I got a nice 1941 Wheatie. You'll have to pardon the noise while I'm here. I got here before most of the traffic started coming, but now this is one of the busiest intersections anywhere around here. And I am the star attraction of all the people that are sitting at the red lights waiting to go through. I don't mind. As long as I'm finding stuff, they can watch me for as long as they want. Well, this was an interesting target. And again, pardon the road noise. It's getting busier by the minute. But I was getting a pure iron signal, but it had a great tone to it. So I'm thinking either, hey, it's either a coin with some iron or it could be big iron. And I like digging both of those. So I did dig down, and the first things that popped up, look at there, I got 2 pennies. And there was the iron. And not once did it register a really good number. But I was just going by tone, so gives you something to think about when you're out there hunting. I'm gonna guess that these are Wheaties. Yep, that is a wheat. And the other one, more than likely, yep, that's a Wheatie as well. Let me get them cleaned up and I'll give you the dates. But that's awesome. 2 Wheaties in the hole. I got a date off them. Got a 1957 and the other one is 1945. So nice little spill there. I did one last check of the hole, and now we definitely know why I was not getting a good number on those pennies at all. I dug out 3 more nails. So there were a total of 4 nails down there with the 2 pennies. Very cool. Sometimes you just gotta hunt by sound. Don't worry about the numbers. Well, this is really cool. This hole surrounded by pull tabs. This place has so many pull tabs because this is where people came to see concerts, and they were milling about here waiting on the shows or at intermission, drinking soda pops and beer. But I was getting a 1246, nice high tone down there, about 5-6 inches. I popped the plug and it said it was right here. I took the dirt out, put it in there, and looky. I flipped this clod over and that was staring right at me. I got a silver dime. I haven't even looked. Yeah, it's a Merc. So, let me put some water on this. And always carry my water. As people know, you just don't want to scratch the coin because this will be the one that's my 1916D. But you always carry water. I'm going to get a little water on this, and I will show it to you after I get it cleaned up a little bit, and we'll see what year I have. Well, there you go. I knew there had to be one hiding in here somewhere with all these wheat pennies. But I got a 1944 P, Philadelphia, and it is beautiful. I can actually see both bands on the back. Gorgeous coin. Yeah, that makes me happy. All right, we'll keep on going, see if we can pull anything else out. This next thing, I was getting a real high tone, but it was ringing up iron, and dug down, got a rusty bolt, and cleared that out, and checked the hole again, and it said I had a penny signal further down. So about 6-7 inches, I got myself a nice early Yale key. Definitely has some age to it, probably 30s, 40s. So definitely period correct for this site. Now, next target was ringing up 1237. I didn't have to dig down very far. I stuck my digger and this popped out. And it's the remains of a pocket knife. Both the scales are gone, but still a pretty cool little relic. Well, next thing was a nice repeatable 1243. I was about 4 inches down, dug down, got another weedy, and I have taken a look at it, and it is a 1936. So we'll take that. So that 36 weedy was right here, and I took 2 swings and got a 1233, 1234 over here, and I just saw it pop out of my dirt. And another old key, which I love old keys. A lot of times they have a pretty good story to tell. Now, this one's got plenty of writing. Pardon the noise, guys. I'm literally on the corner of a 4-way intersection, divided highway. It's very busy here. But I'll get this cleaned up and we'll see. It's definitely vintage, probably 30s, 40s. So I'll get it cleaned up and let you know what it is. Well, I dug the key here, and I may have found the lock. I don't know. I was getting a pretty crazy signal, and I thought, well, let me just check it out, see what it is. And it looks like the main body to a lock, the hasp is broken. But I'll clean it up. If it's interesting at all, I'll let you know. Well, this signal, not very deep. It's running like 1240, which normally would be like a wheat penny, actually. I didn't really know what to expect, and I dug down and it was just barely in the plug, and I pulled this out and I'm thinking, well, I got a quarter, and I'm like, those numbers are way too low for a quarter. But it's nothing extraordinary, but it is a token. It's a Chuck E. Cheese token from the looks of it, and it's actually dated 1990. I had no idea they dated their tokens. I'll clean it up though and give you a better look at it, but kind of a cool find. I think it's kind of neat that they actually dated it. Well, just got a 1243, dug down about 4 inches, and I think I got another weedy. It's popped out in the dirt here. Let me just rubbed off here. Yeah, sure do. 1953D. Yeah, well, I tell you what, I don't know how many weeds I found today, but it's quite a few. This is kind of an interesting signal. I got a 1230. Usually it's up for grabs. You never know what it's going to be. Lower than an Indian, lower than a Civil War bullet. But I dug down and I got this very heavy, looks like what remains of a pretty fancy spoon bowl. I'll tell you what, that has some serious age to it. That's definitely older than the place I'm hunting. And I know through some research I've done in the past that where this building now sits was an early settler of this county. And he had a homestead up on this hill that this building sits on back in the early 1800s. So I may have actually found a piece to that early place. It's the first time ever. Pretty cool. Well, I'll tell you what, this signal blew me away. I was getting a 1213, which is spot on for a nickel, but it wasn't very deep. So I was thinking, well, let me get this clad nickel. And I see the nickel there. It actually still has shine to it. So I picked it up and I'm like, well, at least I got a Jefferson. Now, check it out. Look at that. That is crazy. It still has the original luster on the coin. I've never dug one like that before. It was maybe an inch down. Look at that. It's still shiny. That is insane. Look at that. I have never dug a buffalo that came out of the ground like that. That is awesome. I really thought I just had a modern Jefferson. I don't know if I'll get a date. Didn't look like it, but I'll get it cleaned up a little bit more. Don't need to do much to it. And give you a better look at it. That is awesome. Well, it's not every day you get to hunt a place like that. And I'm just glad that the ghost hunters did all their hunting inside and left me all the goodies outside. because I had a heck of a time finding them, and I hope you enjoyed that video. But don't take off just yet. We've got some very cool historical photos coming up. And remember, history always makes that find a treasure. And I cannot wait to see you here next week on Finding America.